Diethylene glycol is a poison in cough syrup. Killed 565 patients in India and 1826 patients globally. Ways to stop further death and much more. You are watching PR Wartalab and I'm your host Mohammad Shahbaz Alam. The country has witnessed hundreds of children die in multiple cough syrup poisoning over decades, predominantly in poor rural communities. First such cases reported 53 years back in India in 1973. First time 15 deaths in Chennai in 1973, 14 deaths in Mumbai in 1998, 13 deaths in Bihar in 1998, 33 deaths in Gurugram in 1998, 150 deaths in West Bengal in 1998, 150 deaths in UP in 1998, 100 deaths in Delhi in 2007, 40 deaths again in Maharashtra in 2010, 15 deaths in Tamil Nadu in 2000, 12 deaths in Jammu in 2019, 25 deaths in MP and Rajasthan in 2025, recently in this month, October. Total patients died in India due to diethyl glycol poisoning till to date are 565. Nowadays, every media houses are talking about death due to consumption of cough syrup in MP and Rajasthan. With limited knowledge, CDCU and state regulatory agencies are busy in inspection nationwide to find out who are using diethyl glycol and diethyl glycol and ethylene glycol in place of glycerin. Patients die from kidney failure over a period of days after consumption of diethylene glycol poisoning, reported 11 times in 53 years span in India. Neither law framed nor justice given to the deceased family as of now. Only state drug controllers are not responsible for these deaths. CDCO is equally responsible because both of them jointly inspect for the risk-based inspection, another also. So the liability and the credit goes both of them. Now we'll talk about the what is glycerin. Glycerin is a type of carbohydrate known as sugar alcohol. This odorless liquid has a sweet taste and syrupy consistency. Glycerin was invented in 1779 by K.W. Schiller, a Swedish chemist. Glycerin is used as a component of any syrup. It could be cough syrup, it could be allergic syrup, it could be paracetamol. Toothpaste and mouthwash to name a few. Glycerin is used for skin health, relieves constipation and improves athletic performance. Glycerin is used in many industries including skin care, hair care and oral hygiene. Glycerin is the third most used ingredient in cosmetics and water and fragrance. Glycerin is now used in 23,366 products, including lipsticks, hair coloring products, bath soaps, detergents, skincare products, tanning products, baby products, eye creams, shaving products, hair conditioners, oral care products, oral medicines, sweetener in candies and cookies, solvent and preservative in food products, and ice cream and toothpaste base. What is diethylene glycol and ethylene glycol actually? Ethylene and diethylene glycol is a syrupy poison also known as cousin of glycerin. Both ethylene and diethylene glycol are used as antifreeze or a coolant. There is no difference in color, viscosity and taste in all three ingredients: ethylene, diethylene glycol and glycerin. All three ingredients are light colored, slightly viscous liquid at room temperature and sweet taste. Diethylene glycol is toxic to human and animals and can lead to death by renal failure and liver failure, or you can say the multiple failure as well, multiple organ failures. The toxicity of diethylene glycol means that it is Its use is strictly regulated in the manufacture of food and drugs. The US Code of Federal Regulation allows no more than 0.2% of DEG in polyethylene glycol when the latter is used as a food additive. However, diethyl glycol is still illegally used as counterfeit glycerin in some nations and sold internationally as a component of cough syrup, toothpaste, and mouthwash. Diethylene glycol is an industrial product. It is used as a coolant, both lowering the freeze point of solution and elevating its boiling point, making the solution more stable in hot climates. Diethylene glycol is also used as a boiling block in organic synthesis. It is a humectant, a hygroscopic substance for tobacco, cork printing, ink, and glue. It can also be found in some hydraulic fluids and brake fluids. Now we should know the history of diethylene glycol poisoning. The first recorded mass poisoning disaster in the United States in 1937, in which diethyl glycol was used as a solvent in an antibiotic elixir of sulfanilamide. Deaths were reported shortly after it was distributed, and in total over 100 people died. The most important thing resulted in the enactment of the 1938 FFD and C Act. Diethyl glycol was manufactured and supplied by Chinese manufacturer Taixing Glycerin Factory and labeled as TD Glycerin. They were making fool to the importer, mentioning TD glycerin, but it was not a glycerin, it is a diethyl glycol. Now, diethyl glycol poisoning reported not only in 2 countries, 10 countries, 20 countries, 30 countries, 40 countries, but 44 countries of the world. It's a global issue, it is a global problem, and we have to have the ways out to control the menace, control the innocent death globally. The second incident of poisoning recorded in South Africa in 1996, in which diethyl glycol was used in sedative formulation, killing 7 people. Then in 1985, diethyl glycol used in wines in Italy, but there was no death, thanks God. In 1973 in India, first time reported 14 days due to medicinal glycerin laced with diethyl glycol. Means it was not glycerin, but it was proposed to be a glycerin, but it was actually a diethyl glycol. In 1990, in Nigeria, acetaminophen syrup, means paracetamol syrup, containing diethyl glycol reported 200 deaths. In 1995 and 1996, in Haiti, cough syrup containing diethyl glycol reported 85 deaths. In 2006, in Panama, cough syrup containing diethyl glycol reported 365 deaths, huge deaths. In 2006 and 2007 in USA, toothpaste containing diethyl glycol, but luckily there is no death. In 2008 and 2009 in Nigeria reported again 84 deaths due to teething formula containing this diethyl glycol from propylene glycol. In 2009 in Bangladesh, 4 children reported dead due to paracetamol syrup to children adulterated with diethyl glycol. 70 deaths in Gambia in 2022, 18 deaths in Uzbekistan, and 11 times reported in India in 2000 till 2025 since 1973, with 25 deaths to name a few. The total death reported so far globally is 1826, and India alone, oh God, 556. Now we should know the people concerned actually. Everyone has stopped talking cough syrup right now and scary about contamination. Even then patient requires cough syrup, but nobody is taking cough syrup. Nobody is giving the dear one to the cough syrup. But we should be well aware this is not the case of only cough syrup. Maybe this paracetamol syrup, maybe the allergic syrup, maybe the toothpaste, maybe the cosmetic products. So it's a big challenge. So how to convince the consumer, the patients also, to take the cough syrup and the paracetamol syrup and the anti-allergic syrup and other syrups as well, and the toothpaste. So what are the ways out? Who will say, and who will give the confidence, and who will give the security? It's a very challenge. Prevention and control measure. Generally, importers dispatch diethyl glycol labeled as glycerin, hence make responsible to manufacturer of diethyl glycol. First, then formulation manufacturer also. Channel partners are equally responsible. Define compensation plan for deceased family and make responsible all channel partners. Make compulsory testing for importers and manufacturers, including testing laboratory. Inform test report to CDSU and State Drug Department as precautionary measure. See, this is not a responsibility of only the regulator or regulatory agency of any country. It is responsibility of manufacturer, both the diethyl glycol manufacturer or glycerin manufacturer and the formulation manufacturers who are using the glycerin, or somebody who is a very criminal minded using diethyl glycol in place of glycerin. It is a time of digital era, so nobody can make fool to others. It is a very easy thing. So the main thing is a credit value, and the main thing is the human values. So if you are a good businessman, you should have the value of your words, the value of ethics. If you cannot save the human or human life, then you should not do business. Business is not for the money. Business is simply the best noble profession in the world, because you're providing job opportunities to run the daily life, and it's a very, very good initiative by the business community. But those in business are only targeting making money. They are actually a wrong person. They are a criminal minded person, because for money they can do anything. So we should have patience, should have ethics, we should have values of life. If you cannot care the value of others' family or kids, so God will not take care your family and your kids. So for God's sake, stop using diethyl glycol or ethylene glycol. And CDSU and State Drug Control Department should take undertaking those who are using glycerin, because the exporters and the channel partners are providing them knowingly or unknowingly diethyl glycol or ethylene glycol in place of glycerin. So it should be very strict measure and stop all the menace right away. And it is responsibility of everyone, not only the regulatory agencies, all the nationals, all the global people. Thank you so much. I need your suggestion, I need your comments. Subscribe, share, like, and you can share your another topic for further discussion, because see, it takes time. I have taken a time to understand this ethylene, diethylene glycol and glycerin, and all the data I have researched, and then I try to present you. Nothing is wrong. I have shared you all the validated data. Thank you so much, and join us again. Bye bye. Take care. Jai Hind.